Yo, 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 and happy Martin Luther King Day, or if you're watching this later, happy week. I hope you're all well. We do not have a long time for today's show, but we have so much stuff to do. Guys, an absolutely huge week of auctions. But first, we're going to try to cover all of the biggest items that I saw that sold last week. Okay, so we're going to hit about 6 or 7 for the kids, 6 or 7 items that sold from last week, and we're going to jump right into it right now. Okay, so let's start off with this Michael Jordan hologram. This is not a card that you had any thought that I would be sharing today, but $1,700 for this Michael Jordan hologram warrants a quick conversation. So if you take this one and go to GemRate, GemRate will show you real quick, 91 hologram has been graded over 10,000 times. 10,000 times, and it has only received, out of the almost 8,000 graded by a PSA, has only received 146 gems. Guys, this is a common card. This is a card that normally sells for a couple of bucks. There was somebody a few years ago who had, I believe it was a box probably direct from Upper Deck. It was a box of like 800 of this same card, and they were selling for like $1 a piece. This is a dollar card, and now that the market's hot, it's worth a couple of bucks. But the fact that it is next to impossible to get in a PSA 10 makes it at the highest level a $1,700 card. The other question that I think is interesting here is you think about like well-known Jordan inserts. This one, although you may not automatically think of it as an insert because it's from an era where inserts were so few and far between. Really, this is like, in a lot of ways, like one of the very first Jordan inserts after like the stickers from Fleer from previous years. But $1,700 on that. Low pop, we'll do that. I had to show off this Walter Payton because I just think it's so cool for the price. Graded by PSA in a 7.9 holder, numbered to 2,800. Beautiful blue, well-preserved, autographed right across the chest and shoulder. There's a lot worse ways to spend $1,500, guys. That is such a cool card. So we'll get out of that one, and we'll go now to this Antonio Brown. We covered this one last week. It's a 2012 Gold Prism from Football, PSA 8. But the reason that I wanted to cover it this time is because, as we noted last week, one of these cards had sold back in November. So my question was, well, is it going to get to the same price that it did last time? Typically, and this is one of the lessons that we learn over and over again when we watch auctions the way that we do, is when you have a very rare card like this and it moves twice in quick succession, it's actually pretty rare for it to get back to that initial price. And what that initial price actually does is it acts as a ceiling. And that may have been what happened here, or maybe not. What I do know is as we go to Card Ladder, we're going to see that it sold in November for $33.60. And then it sold, it says sold. Oh, this is in August. So this is maybe the same one, maybe a different one, but this is sorted by price. Let's instead sort by date sold. There we go. Okay, that makes sense. So it moved from $3,400 or $33.60 to $3,000. Took about a 10%, a little bit more than a 10% cut. And that's sort of what you expect on a card like this. It is a cautionary tale. You have to be careful when you move thinly traded assets in quick succession. People go, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if it's that cool. So definitely something to look for on cards like that. And sometimes it gives you the best opportunity to buy. Congrats to the guy who got it for $3,000 and didn't have to overpay by $400 not that long before that. The 2024 Immaculate set provided us with a couple of different Stephon Castle base cards. This one is the second one, but it is a one-of-one parallel of that card. And it is a great looking card. And it only did $11.25. I personally think this is a great buy. Now, the problem is it doesn't really check boxes the way that a lot of things do. Because there's another base card in the set, you sort of wonder, is this really a rookie card? It's obviously not autographed. Castle doesn't have autographs in Panini era stuff, right? He's only signed for Topps. He might have had a few right at the beginning, but in general, he doesn't have autographs in Topps. And then Immaculate is not like the brand that people think of as like the brand that you need the rookie card from. With that said, Immaculate goes all the way back to 2012. They make great looking cards. This is a great looking card. This is an even better looking card in person. I personally really like this buy at 11, 12, 25 for a guy who's as good as Castle is, with it being a 1 of 1. Let's now move to Alt. For Alt, I have the last 3 auctions up, and I'll tell you why. Last week, we noted that this had not been marked as sold. It has now been marked as sold. Reminder to everybody, just because something says that it's sold, and this is true for every auction house, okay? I want to make this disclaimer for every episode. We don't know everything that goes in behind these bids and these auctions. We don't. And this is for every auction house. The reason I say it on this one is that this number was so huge. This card, frankly, if it had sold for 100,000 or 150,000, would have been like, wow, that was a big sale. This one hitting 375 is enormous. With that said, I can tell you definitively that some of the Prism Black stuff, some of the sales that we've seen are 100% legit. I can tell you I have good friends who have had big Prism Black cards get giant offers and had people sort of say, I can't say no to this. With that said, this one sold back at the beginning of January and now has been paid for. This one sold last week, and it sold for less than half the amount. And so, you've got a 2023 Black of Luka and a 2024 Black of Shea. For Shea, this is his MVP year. This is his championship year. It's an 8 instead of a 9. That is going to matter to some people, not to me, but it's going to matter to some people. And it sold for 150,000. Which of these 2 cards would you rather have? Luka's a Laker. Luka's got a bigger name and a bigger following. Luka, I think a lot of people would still take significantly over Shea, but 2.5 times as much? It's an interesting thing to think about. We talked a lot about the Buster Posey. We knew that this would be one of the biggest Superfractor sales of all time, and it did not disappoint. People would say, but for Buster Posey? Yes, for Buster Posey. That is his best card in existence. Sold for almost $300,000. Has not been paid for yet. I did contact the guys at Alt, and what they said to me was, I think this is good to go. This is a buyer who's bought a lot of big stuff in the past. They didn't tell me who the buyer was, but they said that I should feel comfortable saying that's a card that's going to be paid for. So that's good to know, and thanks to Alt for giving that information. So big sales at Alt. Some big sales at Alt. But you want to talk about the sale of the week, the card that I think a lot of people were watching last night. It's this Jason Kidd. So how shocking is it to you to see a Jason Kidd sell for $66,000? Have you ever seen a Jason Kidd sell for $66,000? You haven't. And the reason that I know that you haven't is we check Card Ladder and we just type in Jason Kidd and we sort by highest priced. You're going to see that it is the highest priced Jason Kidd of all time by a multiple of 2, almost 2. The highest ever before this one, or I guess a little bit over 2. The highest ever before this one was $32,940 for an 03 number pieces. This is an 09 number pieces. But Adam, how can an 09 number pieces outsell an 03 number pieces? Well, if you were a fan of this set, then you already know. There's a couple things you got to know. One is that although in general 03 number pieces are sort of thought of as the best of all of the number piece sets, 09 is certainly thought of as the second best, and there are some people who even prefer 09 because of some of the quality of patches. Obviously, the design is virtually identical. The patch windows have a little bit of a different font and different size. But the story here is that all this one that sold back in 2025 for 30,000 some odd is numbered to 5. Guys, this card is numbered to 2. And this is where Jason Kidd got his championship. For me, if I was a Jason Kidd fan, I would value this absolutely as one of his best cards in existence. The only thing that would come close is if he had a logo man that really stood out as being super different or special in some way. And I don't know that he has a logo man from when he was playing with the Mavs, right? This card was made in 2017. This is after J. Kidd retired, right? He started playing in 1994. I think he retired in 2013 or 2014, but he sure was not playing in 2017. Okay, so that's a big card, but these are playing days cards. These are playing days cards from one of the most popular sets. And the thing that I need to make abundantly clear, if you don't already get this, and I know a lot of you do, but when you have a set that is beloved, right, and exquisite number pieces are absolutely beloved by a lot of people as like some of the best cards ever made for these players. When you have a set like this, where the cards are limited to the player's jersey number, and that player then has a super low jersey number, that is a recipe for chaos and a recipe for bidding wars. There are only 2 of this card. He won his championship in Dallas. What year did they win the championship? It might even have been this year. Let's see. When did Dallas Mavs championship year? It was the next year. So 2011, and this is a 2009-10 card. I saw this sitting early yesterday at a lower number, and I went, oh, I didn't notice that one. That's going to sell for a lot of money. I didn't make it to this one as I was searching last week. I didn't actually get to go through Fanatics like I usually do last week, as well as I would have liked to. And when I saw it climbing, that card's going to sell for a lot of money. There's only 2 of them. It's one of the best Jason Kidd cards in the world, and it absolutely is deserving, at least as far as we can see with these other cards. Like, I would take it way over the 1 out of 5. I take it after past the dual logo, man. I mean, I like Steve Nash, but if I'm a Jason Kidd fan, I want just Jason Kidd on the card. Here that card is again. I like it more than these logo, man. He's not even active in those when those were made. I like it more than a red. You know, would I take it over a green? Would I take it over this card? I'd take it over this card. There's 10 of this card. Card's made the same year. It's a wonderful card. It's a great card. Or actually, it's made the year before. This card right here, though, man, I love that card. Massive congrats to whoever got that. All right, enough of that one. Let's go to Golden. Golden had one sale that I want to highlight. The second time we've seen a big sale on the Mantle Griffey. High-grade copies of this are tough. And an 8.5 in a lot of people's minds, or that's about as high as you want it to be. $42,000 almost on that. One of the most popular baseball cards really from this era, made just before Mantle passed away. It's a phenomenal piece. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, we covered all of the biggest auctions from last week in about 11 minutes. That was awesome. Now we're going to take 2 minutes to talk about this gem rate study that was so interesting. I just want to give just a few basic thoughts on it. This is from Twitter. Slam Grails reposted. I couldn't find the best place to find the actual graph from gem rate. I should be able to do that, but I didn't take too long. I was able to find it on here, though. So what this represents, this isn't just a PSA number. This is a across all graders number of the 50 most graded athletes of all time. And it's super instructive. The reason that it's instructive is that grading quantity is a proxy, not a perfect proxy, but a proxy for, okay, like how popular is that guy combined with like sort of like a supply and demand metric. This is how I think about it. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is how I think about it. If somebody is like super crazy, totally popular and beloved by lots of people, and I can tell that people love them and they love their cards, this is where the iconic rankings is actually super helpful. Where people are like, oh, this guy has to be on the list. He has to. And, you know, I love that guy and his cards have to be there. So when you can take that and sort of juxtapose it with this data, which like says, okay, this is how much people have graded them, you come up with something really interesting. So by far and away, and it's not even a discussion, by far and away, the most graded player ever is Michael Jordan. It's just not even close, guys. He is the perfect representation of both culture and greatness of a sport and the sort of coming up of the sport. And then, but beyond all of that, he has a collector base that is unparalleled collector base. This is why, if you were to say, well, what are the 10 most iconic Michael Jordan cards of all time, that Jordan fans would kill each other? And maybe, yes, at some point I will put together an iconic ranking for Michael Jordan. Because people would absolutely love that. The Jordan collectors would love that. So with that said, there he is sitting at number 1. The very interesting thing is number 2 is now Shohei. Number 3 is Griffey, a virtual tie, but Griffey's not catching up with Shohei at this point. I'm telling you that right now, because Shohei is one of the guys who's continuing to be one of the most graded. He's going to fly. You know, he's number 2 now, and Griffey's never going to catch up with him again. What's interesting though is that 4 and 5, and take a very close look at the numbers here. 2 through 5 are very close. 2 and 3 are almost a tie. 2 and 4 are off by like 80,000 cards. And then Kobe's only 20,000 cards behind that. The top 5 graded athletes of all time is a landslide. Nobody is close to them. But the most interesting part of this is that somehow Victor Wembanyama already finds himself a 6. Now, I don't know if he can actually get into that top 5 because of those numbers, and because I think other people are seeing this and going like, whoa, that's a lot of graded cards for Wemby. Maybe he can, and I'm crazy because maybe, basketball is as beloved as it is, and maybe he can just get there. I would guess when GemRate does this again in another year, I would guess Wemby will still be sitting 6th. Kobe did make up some room on LeBron last year. That was sort of interesting. I posted on my Instagram, can Kobe catch LeBron? And I got a dozen messages from people who were like, no, he'll never catch LeBron. He actually caught up a lot to LeBron last year. And people were like, how can that be possible? Because LeBron, he still has so many more cards coming out, but it's not about how many cards. It's not just about how many cards are coming out. It is also about how people are viewing cards in the past that weren't viewed as gradable cards. Some of you know, I went through this giant collection of cards that were just sort of tossed aside in an attorney's basement years ago, 20-something years ago. I did this last year with my son, and over the last couple of years with my son, and it was crazy because it was over 1 million cards. And in that collection, I found something like 30 different Kobe Topps rookies. Why that's significant is this guy just had crap. His collection was crap. But amongst the crap, he had base cards of Michael Jordan, and he had, these Kobe Bryant rookies and all these other early Kobe cards, and cards that just weren't worth anything then that are worth a lot now. Kobe has had this sort of thing where he was a rookie at a time where those cards probably weren't going to be graded. I mean, you could try to go get a Gem 10 at that point and maybe make a little bit of money. But there was a time where Gem Topps rookies were worth $30, $20. So it probably was never worth it. And, unless you were reasonably certain you were going to get a gem card on that. So he's caught up a little bit to LeBron. Look at Mantle holding strong at 7 and Jeter at 8, Brady at 9, Ryan at 10. Really an interesting list. I think Luka probably moves up. Zion and the way his career has gone, those guys are both going to stop there, but is a cautionary tale to see Zion at 13, Ja at 14. Keep scrolling down. You get Steph Curry at 27. I always say Steph doesn't have these key cards that we think about, and it's just true. The fact that he's at 27 as by far the fourth, by far, ahead of fifth, I should say, the fourth most collected basketball player of all time. It's crazy because although he's the fourth most collected basketball, and he is, I'm right about this, he's the fourth most collected basketball player of all time. Fifth is probably Luka of all time. So there's Steph at 27. Look how many basketball players are ahead of him. Jordan should be ahead of him. Kobe and LeBron should be ahead of him. Wemby, Luka, Zion, Josh, Shaq's close. Shaq's 6 or 7 again. And then you got Steph at, what is that, 8? It's really interesting. Caitlin at 34. Wow, that's interesting. Anthony Edwards at 36. He's coming up. Giannis at 42. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson both toward the end on basketball. And look at Messi there at 50. Soccer cards. Will soccer fans ever really become collectors? If they ever really become collectors, those guys holding all that big soccer stuff are going to just, as far as financially go, they're going to make millions and millions of dollars, guys. This has always been the case. Soccer has always been the biggest sport with the lowest card following. So that is it for our GemRate moment. Portion of the show where we look at all of the biggest auctions ending this week. And we're going to look at auctions from first MC Sports Cards, which all end tonight, the biggest ones, as part of their MC Monday. It's their 107th weekly auction this week, which is crazy that we're already that far. Then we're going to look at hoodies and their biggest auctions this week. Then we're going to look at the premier auction from Fanatics Collect. And as much as I'd like to take an hour on that, we're going to try to do it in 20 minutes, which will be a little bit crazy. But every time we look at that, there's big auctions. By the way, I'm not looking for just I'm not looking for the best cards at auction. I'm looking for the most interesting auctions. This is a question I get all the time. It's like, what are you looking for? Like, why do you go through and do all this? I'm looking for the most interesting auctions. Stuff that doesn't move a lot is something that's a good thing. Stuff that's really significant for a given player is a really good thing. Stuff that people don't realize why it's as significant as it is, like these are all those types of things. So again, MC, hoodies, Fanatics. We're going to look at alt briefly. We're going to hit Golden. We're going to go to the Fanatics Weekly, which a lot of times really gets, I think people are quick to look past when it's the week of the premiere. But to me, the weekly auction, the week of the premiere might be the best place to get some of the things that get missed because everybody's so focused on premiere. And then finally, we'll look at Card Hobby in the first couple of pages that they have. We've been going for 21 minutes. We're going to try to do this today in the next 45 minutes. So wish me luck. We're going to start with MC Sports Cards. We start out with a giant Steph autograph. Whenever you get an image like this, where it's like a player holding a trophy, a championship, an MVP, it's a big deal. But guys, this one says it's a 1 of 1. Is it a white box autograph? That will be one of our 10 cards of the week that we look at for MC Sports Cards for sure. Bruno Fernandez out of 5, a Luka Flawless out of 25, a Pop 1 Luka 2022 Select Red autograph. Check out this logo man from 1-1 of Dillingham. Dillingham hasn't popped yet, but high pick. Still a hope for that. Bobby Jackson, one of his best cards in existence. This is a 7 on the 98 PMG. Does he have PMG? Does he have anything from 97? He was drafted in 97. I don't know if he does. That might be his only PMG. Donovan Mitchell, 17 Select Gold. This is Donovan's Gold Select rookie. Big Rory McIlroy here from the 2013 UD employee set. The PMG pink or purple, depending on how you want to call it. The Magic Johnson 07 Chronology Stitches in Time. This is the number 8 of 15. Notice the number 79. The numbered out of 15 version goes back to, I think is it his draft year? Might be his draft year. Or maybe the year he won a national championship. I don't know. I should know that. But each of these numbers is something different. So that's kind of cool. A Luka 2018 Revolution autograph. That autograph is on card, guys. And that is a beautiful card. I actually love that. If you wanted a Luka rookie card, you could do a lot worse than this. Autograph, on card, iconic brand, some of the best autographs of the Panini era. Check the Pop Report to see how many of them there are. I don't know, but I really like that card a lot. Gosh, I'm tempted. I kind of want to go look that one up, actually. I am going to take some time on that one. Okay, continuing on. Tiger from 2012, excuse me. Far after his rookie stuff, but what you get here that you don't get on a lot of Tigers, this is more of the modern day type grail. This is like a patch autograph. You can see they include the word swatch, shirt, patch. I think that's an appropriate listing personally. Number to 100, recently graded by Beckett. I want to look at that one and see if I can look at the foil on it. 96 of 99. This is the biggest rookie you can get from 04 Exquisite. 04 ended up being, you've got Dwight Howard at the number 1 overall pick. Emeka Okafor ended up not being, anything great, but he didn't sign for Exquisite this year. Emeka Okafor was a Topps exclusive. Who was the number 3 overall pick in 04? Oh my goodness. It was Ben Gordon. Ben Gordon does have an RPA in this. So is Luol Deng. So is Josh Smith. So does Andre Iguodala. And man, this was a rough year as far as like big picks. Dwight is still the best player. Unfortunately, they have the exquisite writing behind the autograph. That's the case on all of them. But outside of that, it's one of the nicest looking years. And it is still a fantastic card. I actually bid a lot of money on the 12 of 99 of this card a couple of years ago now. I really wanted that. But this is one of the cards of the era. And see how it says game? Gosh, MC crushes it, guys. Game used patch. It's one of the very few game used RPAs in the history of basketball. Huge piece. Donovan, 5 out of 10 from the Mosaic. Wow, that's a really big card. It's sitting at only $260 right now. Donovan's so good and underappreciated, guys. Boy, though, look at this. This Chuck. Here is a card that I don't know if I've ever even seen at auction before. And the numbered out of 25, Wild, level 2, while Barkley was still active in the NBA. Big Iverson, PSA 6. This is the row 2, the most basic row from that first year of Showcase Legacy. Steve Smith, PSA 6 on the PMG. Big Mahomes from 2018. doesn't look like it's on card, but still very cool. Shohei high-tech rookie, numbered 8 out of 25. One of the more iconic baseball cards of the whole decade. The Juan Soto. This is the green. Green's always out of 99 in SGC 8. Remember, the super of this is one of the most infamous cards where the autograph was wiped. And last I know, it was still owned by PSA. Pretty cool, actually, because they graded the card, realized they made a mistake, bought it back out of the market, and just said, we're not going to have this be out there because they made a big mistake. I think the card now is graded authentic altered. Speaking of which, we're going to get into a big-time altered card later in discussing these auctions. MC's auction just keeps going. Lots of stuff. Big Stockton autograph, dual jersey, dual patch at $361. A big Steph autograph rookie. What is this? We got to look at that. BAS autograph. This is probably like signed at a show or something like that. LeBron, Panini 1-1, numbered to 10, numbered 6 of 10, if that sort of thing matters to you. Paolo, RPA. Not a rookie, actually. Patch auto from Flawless. Game used. Oh, I love this LeBron. Oh, wow. This will be one of my cards of the week. For sure. That is huge. Gosh, this is their monthly showcase week, too. They sort of faked me out here. MC's monthly showcase ends tonight. And that is a great way to start it. This LeBron is huge. We're going to talk about it here in a few minutes. I got to go through this stuff faster. Big Tyson, one of the biggest Tyson cards in existence. Going back to the 2013 either pink or purple set. $3,000 is what that card's at now. One of the biggest Mike Tyson cards in the world. Same thing for Hulk Hogan. Numbered to 125. Triple flawless. Ooh, big triple flawless. Triple patch. What is this? Big members of the Orlando Magic. Howard, that means Dwight, Penny, and Paolo. Look at the Penny patch, though. Looks like it's a logoman tag. That's a big deal. Roberto Clemente, PSA 1, Cons Wiener card. We're definitely going to look at that one. Kobe, PSA 10, Showcase rookie card. Wait a second. Why is this card so much money? $5,200? We're going to look at that one, that's for sure. The pop on that must be insanely low, and I feel dumb that I did not know that, but I didn't. Chet Select Black 1-of-1 rookie card. Huge card. There are multiple select rookies, but still, that's a big deal. And a 1-of-1 true rookie card is a big deal. I used to own this exact same Michael Jordan. It is totally underappreciated. Being from a low-end brand, out of 100, most of those, the vast majority are thrown away. It's a checklist, and it's not, it's not like the main card, but it's a serial number to 100 Jordan that is just impossible to find at this point. A Lowry 1-of-1 Prism Black, Prism Black Nebula. Prism Black is the brand, and Nebula obviously is the parallel. We're gonna keep going. Another Prism. Looks like somebody's breaking up a PMG pink or purple set. Huge David Ortiz. That's autographed too. Big card for Ortiz. An autographed refractor out of Bowman's Best for Peyton Manning, one of his biggest rookie cards. There's another one of these triple patches. This one has Steph, Clay, and KD, and the KD is part of a logoman tag. A Kobe Eminence from the Kobe Eminence set, numbered 3 out of 8. Oh, another big LeBron. Boy, there's a couple huge LeBrons in this auction. Absolutely huge cards. I'm probably getting close to my 10 cards here now. An AI from one of the original autographic set. A black autograph from Steph, as they always do, from 2016. Flawless. That was the year they did it black. A huge Chris Paul. This is the limited logos from his rookie year. We've got to look at that because I don't know off the top of my head whether that's game used. I don't think it is, but we're going to look. Mahomes. This is the blue. Yeah, I love this card. I love this one. One of the things that we found in the 25 and 25 book, in fact, I will open this for you so you can see it. It's super interesting. See this Mahomes right here? Right here. Big card. Oh, there we are. This card right here. That card, oh, wow, look at that. I opened right to it. That was lucky. That card finished, show you like this. That card finished 21 on the list, guys. 21 for the Mahomes. And the really interesting part, this is was one of the biggest takeaways for me of the whole exercise. So there's two voter bases, right? There was the community, which was anybody who could vote on it who wanted to. And then there was the experts. And the experts were just people who work in the industry and people who are like super well-known card collectors. There were 40 something experts, and there's like 450 something members of the community. Look at what the community ranked it, and then look at what the experts ranked it. There wasn't a bigger delta than that in this whole process. The Mahomes, the Optic Mahomes, was the card that the community ranked the highest, that the experts ranked the lowest. Experts wouldn't even have this close to the top 25. I personally didn't even consider this card for the top 25. I didn't, but it finished number 21 overall. And I think it says something about the nature of like the giant image of Mahomes. And it's obviously just a great piece, but to see a BGS 9.5 of the blue refractor is always going to be a big deal. Already highlighted the Chris Paul. Huge Ollie. Oh, a Jerry West 61 made the same year as his Fleer rookie. This is a pop 3 with only 5 higher. That is a big card right there. That is a big card for people who collect that genre. What is this? Dwight Eisenhower Star Relic? Okay, we got to find out what that Star Relic is. Big Shea from his not earliest, but I guess it's not that early. 2023 Immaculate Patch Auto. I was going to say one of his earlier OKC cards, but that would have not been true. The gold of Kaishan George, not to be confused with Keontae George. Both of them are having a very good season. Keontae's is better though. Big Kobe autograph jersey. We got to see if that's on card. I don't know if it is. Some of his Spectre stuff is, and most of it is. I think some of it's not. Oh, wow. Big Anthony Davis card. We definitely got to hit that. And then, yeah, this Kobe, we definitely got to hit that Kobe. I've heard several people already talking about it. Oh, man. Big Christian McCaffrey, the rated rookies, obviously the base card out of Optic. This is the gold vinyl. Is it just the straight gold vinyl? That's a big card. Already at 194 bids. Holy smokes, that's a lot of bids. And then Pelé, an autograph patch, one of the coolest autograph patch Pelé cards in existence. Another one of these big penny jersey cards. We've seen a few of those lately. Shea, one of the nicest looking autograph Shea patch cards you're ever going to see. There's the biggest card from the PMG set, being the Tiger Woods. A giant Kobe Bryant gold autograph. Now we're getting into some of the really big stuff at the MC monthly. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. A Russell PSA 10. How many of them are there? Pop 2. Wow. Yeah, that one has a chance to do a big thing. A couple guys that are doing the set. I think a couple of guys who are doing the set who are trying to do it in Gem 10, PSA 10, Gem 10, and that are going absolutely bonkers. A Wilt autograph. Oh my goodness. We're way past 10 items now. An ultimate LeBron rookie, a 7 on the Jordan. We've got to be about done. I mean, these are just monsters after monsters. Holy smokes. And then we get back to some of the weekly stuff. This Anthony Davis, where he does his short form autograph numbered out of 2. Look at the Shohei Kanji. This might be your best chance at a Shohei Kanji rookie, guys, because some people don't think of it as a rookie. It's 2018, but it's got the Kanji writing. It's a 9. There's other 9.5s of these. It's not numbered. Okay, we got about 15 cards at MC. We're going to hit these as fast as we can. So this Steph is a 1 of 1. It says, yeah, it's a white box. It's a white box. Still cool. I love the image here. I love the autograph, but it is a white box. Okay. The Luka, we were going to look at this and just do like a pop report check, but there's so many things I've got to keep moving. This Tiger, I genuinely love this card. I was going to buy an autograph Tiger Woods card, other than like something iconic of his rookie, like his SP Authentic Gold or his regular SP Authentic at a 900. I mean, even including those though, like this is one of the Tiger Woods cards I would buy. I think that is just straight up on holo foil. I think this serial number is just straight up on holo. His autograph is obviously like one of the greatest autographs of all time, but the patch window here is just glorious. Like I love this card. This is absolutely going on my top 10 post of the week for these guys. Very cool Steph Curry. It is very much an autograph in person, which is still cool. This is an autographed rookie card. I love this card so much. I love this card. So why do I love this card? Well, MVP was like the worst brand of 2003. It's just not good in that it just was mainly like regular cards in every pack were just base cards. I guess there's that, what is it called? Like Victory or something set that was even worse, where it just like had nothing in it, like no inserts or anything. What you did get is you had like, there were some autograph sets in here, and there was some stuff that you could get like 1 in 10 boxes. But the cards in retrospect that were like some of the absolute coolest cards were cards like this one. This card is 1 out of 25 for the number 1 overall pick that year. And I don't believe there's a rarer version than this. If I had more time, I would go to Beckett and I would see whether there is a numbered out of 1 version. I don't think there is out of MVP this year. I don't think there is. I think this is the rarest LeBron. You'd rather have the 23 out of 25, but like it is his rookie year. He was the number 1 overall pick. 1 means first, and it is a rookie, like it's a rookie set. This is one of the coolest LeBron cards I've seen at auction in a long time. And it's because people don't think of this. Like, think about it like this. There's that Credentials that sold yesterday at Fanatics Collect. It's a Credentials rookie card. It's numbered to 102. There are 4 times as many of those as this card. This is number 1. And people generally don't know it, but anybody, and when I say anybody, I mean like a kid who came into a 7-Eleven with $1 could have pulled this card. This product was the low end. I love this card. Somebody who loves this show, buy this card and send it to me. I love this card. It is awesome. And I do have some funds with MC, so I might need to think about that. But it's definitely going to be one of my favorites of the week. It has a chance to be a top 5 card of the week for me. Okay, this Clemente, it's close to his rookie year. His rookie year is 54, 55, one of those two. I should know that. I feel dumb for not knowing that. It's very close to his rookie year, but some of the Cons baseball stuff is rare, like crazy rare. All right, let's look it up. I've got to look it up. I have to. I don't have a choice. I'm going to just come over to my other screen real quick and type in PSA cert, and I'm going to type in this number. I've got to see how rare this card is. Because MC didn't put anything up, I'm actually guessing it's not that rare because they do a really good job of highlighting those things. It's pretty rare, though. It's not crazy. We're talking about a pop 1031 higher. There's going to be some authentics in there, too, I think. So there's not going to just be 41 total. There's going to be more than that. Clemente. Yeah, well, it's not that much more. It's 45. There's only 4 authentics. That's a really cool Clemente. You're not going to find many Clementes cooler than that one. Very cool card. Okay, what's the story here? What's going on? Row 2, regular card, almost $6,000. I can tell you right now, the fact that they put it in the monthly showcase, they knew this was a big card. This is a low pop card. They haven't said. I'm gonna guess there's 10 of this card. It's gonna be low. Now, this is the most base E card from showcase. I know I sound like a jerk saying base E, but I think that's the best word I can come up with. Let's check this right here. Oh my goodness, I'm all over the place. I am all over. So you can see it's at 59.88, and when we go into PSA, we find it's actually a pop 67. It is not nearly as low as I would have thought, but you can see PSA has a big number on it here. And I guess this is just one of those situations where I just didn't know, right? I didn't know that this card being in this population was as rare as it was. And that is rare, right? Like 67. And then how many of them total have been graded? Again, this is the most base version, right? 2 was the lowest row or the highest row, however you think about it. It's like the most common row. Remember, people sort of with 96 Showcase, some people view all of the rows as the base set, like row 0, row 1, and row 2. Now, I always viewed them sort of as parallels, but there is something to be said for the fact that like there is a parallel, and that's the legacy. And the base is not, it's a whole different image of the card. Everything is different about it. It's not adding like a color or a shine or something. And so anyway, this one, I want to see how many of them are graded. I don't think it's more than a couple thousand, but I could be wrong. No, it's about what I thought. So 2,967 of them are 10s. It is, I'll tell you what's really interesting. It's the most common version, and it has the least number of 10s. It's the most common version, and it's the second most graded. It's the most common version. It's graded 3 times less than the row 0, 3 times more, than the row 0s, and it's still rarer. How much? Now, this is really interesting. Okay, this is really interesting. How much? Let's check Card Ladder for this. Would a PSA 10 sell for of the other rows? Now, I don't remember seeing any of those sell for a while. If we go Kobe Bryant, 1996 Showcase, PSA 10, we're not going to sort by highest price. We're going to sort instead by date sold. $10,600 just last week on best offer for a PSA 10 row 0. So this is so interesting. Here's the row 2, by the way. Row 2 in a PSA 10, that's the same one that we're looking at right now, right? Row 2 in a PSA 10 for $49.20, and then some row 0s for $11.5 and $10.6. Really interesting. Let's go back. Where are we at? Let's go back here. PSA 10, $6,000. It's really interesting because it's a rarer card than the row 0 is. And I can tell you right now, more of the row 0s have been graded as far as like a percentage. There's way more than 3 of these for the average row 0. Row 0 was like 1 a box. And this was, like a base card. Like probably one of these per box or close to one of them a box. I don't know exactly because the rows made it a little weird. I did collect in this time, and I did buy some of this stuff. Actually, this is a fun story. I can't remember if I bought 1 pack or 2 packs of these, but I pulled the row 0 Kobe out of it. And then I sold it to the card shop for $20. Not that same day, but later, so that I could buy my mom a birthday present. That is a true story. So I've owned a number of them since then. But $6,000, it's fun. It's kind of a fun card. I didn't know. I just didn't know about that one. This is a blind spot. Case of this Chris Paul, speaking of blind spots, I want to know whether this is game used. I don't think it is. Rookie photo shoot. It's cool that they spell that out. Look at that. Rookie photo shoot. Great patch. Great looking autograph. He is a ninja with that signature. C with the ×3 and the rest of the signature. Great patch on that card. Graded by Beckett. BGS 8.5. Cool piece. I needed to know what the star was. I don't know what the star is. Let's look at the back and see if it illuminates anything. Eisenhower was a 5-star general. The enclosed star is from Eisenhower's 4-star Army general's uniform. Whoa. That's cool. For you political guys or you like U.S. history guys, an amazing autograph from the jacket, numbered to 4. That is cool. Made by Panini, too. That'll be a fun one to watch tonight. This Kobe, I want to see if it's on card. Sure looks like it is to me. I do not see any sticker lines around that. Nope, that's 100% on card. $2,000. It is a refractor. Autograph on refractor is just unmatched. It's just a beautiful thing. Anthony Davis, absolutely one of my favorite cards of the week. This card has sold for a freaking ton of money. It's $1,500. Might be the best moment ever to buy an Anthony Davis. This is a deep value Brent special right here. This is also one I will be looking at for sure. Anthony Davis. We're going to look at the highest selling Anthony Davis cards ever. I will bet you this one's in the top 10, number 2. So this one is a BGS 9.5. So a better card than what we're looking at, because this is the same card. This is the same flipping card. So this card sold for $181,000 5 years ago. And today it is sitting at a little bit less than 1%. Oof. I love this card. I do not love Anthony Davis. At one point, I had one of the best Anthony Davis card collections in the world, and I sold it because he could not stay healthy. I bought it. I bought into Anthony Davis. I'll make this quick. I bought into Davis in 2014 when I realized that he was amazing statistically, and I went crazy. I owned his 1 of 23 immaculate acetate RPA, his 1 of 20 flawless rookie. I owned his 23 of 99 immaculate rookie. That was a big card. I had an NT rookie. I had all of his flawless stuff. I mean, I had a really amazing Anthony Davis collection, like legitimately like one of the best 5 Anthony Davis collections in the world at one point. I never owned this card. National Treasures was always so expensive, and I liked it. Again, I had his regular rookie card, but his regular rookie is out of 199. It's horizontal, and it's cool looking. It's got a little bit of hollow foil. It's cool. And then there's the 1 out of 25, which is like the cutout of the jersey number. They basically made the window the jersey number. It's not limited to the jersey number. It's just the window's the jersey number. And it's also horizontal. And then there's this version. And then there's the 1 of 1, which is also horizontal. So you only have one shot at a vertical card. That's it. Right there. And that is as good as it gets for Anthony Davis. I mean, there's a Logo Man autograph. There's a Prism Gold. The question I always asked is, if you were a rookie collector, would you rather have the Prism Gold of that player or the out of 5 NTRPA? Now, I love 2012 Gold Prism. 2 of my 3 best cards in my collection are from that set. I would rather have this card. For the rookies, it's just, to me, a no-brainer. I shouldn't say no-brainer. To me, the set is a no-brainer. It's a lovely set. The question of the gold versus this is very much not a no-brainer. That's a hard question, because the 2012 gold set is like so iconic, so beloved, so like the base card matters so much. Whereas the base card of this is going to continue to sell less and less, be less and less in our minds. And Anthony Davis, it turns out, is not going to be an all-time great. And so this card is like dived down. But as a guy who collects cards where it's like, I want to own one of that guy's best cards, like this card is actually massively appealing to me. MC has some huge cards this week. This and the LeBron to 1 out of 25 are both just amazing. I got to move. I'm going too slow here, but I love that piece. Gosh, I got to spend a few minutes on this though. I owned this card in this grade. This is not my copy though, because this one's a fairly new one. Here's the story. This is the rarest. I sold my copy to Nat Turner of this card. I know he was putting together the set. I think I got $5,000 for it. As usual, if I sold something to Nat, I sold it for way too low. Every time I sell a card like this to a big collector, every single time I regret it down the road. Every single time. I bought it on REA, again, in the same grade for like $3,000, $2,900, $3,500, something like that. And then, in fact, I'll bet you we can find it. Let's go find it. Let's go find it in Card Ladder. Where did my Card Ladder window go? Here it is. So it's Kobe. It's 2004. It's Credentials. Not Credentials. Losing my mind. Jambalaya. And we sort by highest. There's not that many, right? So here's a Fanatics Weekly that sold. This is the same card. Sold for $10,200. Then we have a Raw sold for $5,500. Here's a Gem 10. But do you see the difference? See the difference? See the little logo right here? As we zoom in, you're going to see a logo on that. This one's hollow foil. This one's not. This one's hollow foil. This one's not. These are the XL versions of this card. This is the rarest Jambalaya of all of the Jambalayas because it's a parallel of the Jambalaya, and I think it's like 10% of them like are these XL versions. That's what they say. It seems to me, honestly, frankly, like it's more than 10%, but they are super duper rare, like crazy rare. Okay, where's the one that I bought on REA? just to prove that I'm not a liar. Probably now I say that I'm probably not going to be able to find it. Golden PSA. There it is. Hey, I even nailed the price. Look at it. $34.80. So this is me. I bought this. I told you it was a few years ago. It's been 5 years ago, and you can't even see the price. But this was me. I bought this card right here. I paid $34.80 and I sold it to Nat for like $5,000. I felt like a genius. Not a genius. Never a genius. Always wrong. So if you look back now, you can see that the card has sold for up to $10,200. You can see that, like I said, it's a PSA 8, the one that I bought. And now here we are today with this one. Whoop, wrong place. This one right here, also PSA 8, but at a major auction like this, hasn't sold in that long with Kobe as hot as he is. It's a really interesting moment for this card. Like a crazy interesting moment for this card. I'm really excited to see what this one does. And I don't have any expectations. It might be done or it might go to 20 or more. I just don't know. What I do know, it's rare. It's like crazy rare. And then if you go to, and this is where GemRate's super helpful. Let's see if GemRate helps us the way that I think that it will on this one. If you come in here to this is the tool, the Universal Pop Report. If we just go Kobe 2004 Jambalaya. Then we have, do we have any combined? Oh, here it is. Universal X, maybe not two. Okay, so XL's got to be in there. Is there a universal report for the XL? There's one for LeBron. There's not one for Kobe. Darn it. So PSA, though, has graded it. BGS has graded it 25 times. I just, part of me questions whether that's right. Part of me questions whether they've gotten this one right or this is one that they've confused. And the reason that I believe that, I'm not blowing smoke here. I think like this one's labeled right. See how it says Jambalaya XL? It's pretty hard to tell. I mean, it's not hard to tell if you know what you're doing, but if you got like a bunch of graders and they're trying to figure out like how to differentiate, you'd have to have a note on this if you're PSA that's like, hey, if you get a card from 2004 Skybox EXL Jambalaya and it looks like this without holofoil, then it's regular. If it has holofoil, it's the XL. It's an easy thing for them to miss, honestly. And so I wonder if the pop report's right. But so proceed with caution when it comes to the pop report. Proceed with caution with that one. That's going to be might be one of my 5 favorites of the week. We already know the Anthony Davis absolutely is. You guys heard me drool about that. The Christian McCaffrey optic in a 9 with a 10 autograph. The only thing that this card has going against it is that over the years, Optic has done enough one-of-ones off of their base set that you have to really know the history of the set. Like, I don't know, for example, this is just the straight gold vinyl and it's numbered 1/1. But is there a straight gold vinyl that's an autograph? Is there a straight gold vinyl that's a non-autograph? It is a really cool autograph, though. The autograph's on card. The card is so sweet looking. That is such a cool looking card. But I don't know really where it fits in his pantheon of greatest cards because of Optic's sort of like how confused, and maybe it's just a me issue, how confusing like Optic's catalog of available cards are. This might be like his best Optic card ever. I think there's a good chance it is. But if there's also another McCaffrey that's from this same set that's also the gold vinyl 1/1 that's not autographed, there's a pretty good chance that that's viewed as his best 1/1. So again, it'll be interesting to watch either way. I already talked about the Russell. It's cool to see it. The fact that a couple people are putting together the set, especially in high grade, makes this really interesting. I'm not a huge fan of retired players. I had a retired player from the set that I really liked, but I moved it because I didn't need it as a retired guy. When I think of Bill Russell cards that I want, I think of 1957, 1961. And then for me, I think of his autographs in the late 90s and early 2000s, as well as a few other sets. But I don't think about like parallels like this. And that might just be me. A Wilt Chamberlain 9/5/10 is a huge deal. This card I have done crazy amounts of research on. I don't remember off the top of my head. I always forget this as far as like the print run, but I'm going to teach you guys right now so you can remember. You can sort of remember in your minds. So this is how I think about it. There's 2 great Chamberlain autographs. There's the Incredible, and then there's the Legends, which is the Epic. The Incredible Retro is the same thing, and then the Epic Legends is. And they basically, my guess is they were signed at the same time. There was an article that came out. I thought it came out in Beckett, but I was unable to find it in Beckett. Some people indicated that it was in Tough Stuff. I was unable to find that as well. But I did have somebody send me an article that was actually from another place, from a newspaper. And I'm guessing that it was actually sourced from Tough Stuff, that showed the print run for these autographs. And it's super cool because Wilt Chamberlain only has those two cards. Now, each of them has a parallel. And this is the part that I can remember for sure. So you've got the Incredible and you've got the Retro. Sorry, those are the same thing. You've got the Retro Incredible and you've got the Legends Epic. The Legends Epic, the gold version's to 100 and the non-gold version's not that much more plentiful. If I remember right, it's like 137 or something like that. And then in the Incredible set, this one, by far, the best card that he has that's an autograph is the level 2 of this, which is numbered to 13. And then this one adds up to almost exactly the same amount, makes it so that the total retros are almost exactly the same as the total legends. I might be not quite right here, but I think it's 100 legends, 100 legends gold, 137 legends regular. And then 13 of the better version of this, the level 2, and then like, what would that be? 225 or something of this card. I think that's right. So it comes out to like 475 total Wilt Chamberlain rookie cards that were signed. And a huge percentage of them are faded. A huge percentage. We're talking about like one of the best known, most popular, most epic, like giants of the game, superhero figures in the history of sports. 100 points in a game. And he has less than 500 total pack pulled autographs. It's awesome. As I have moved up in my collection over and over again, I have protected my Wilt Chamberlain autograph and have not been willing to sell it yet, despite the fact that it's not one of the higher end cards that I have in my collection. I can't sell it because I always look at it and think it's the most undervalued thing in the whole hobby. I think that. I believe that. And this is one of those. The autograph on this is just superb. The fact that it's graded a 9.5 is awesome. I don't know what it'll go for tonight, but if you're looking for something in your collection that makes your collection sort of go, oh, like that's really cool. To me, it doesn't get much better than this. There's that dual autograph that we saw today where it was Mantle and Junior, and everybody loves that card. One just sold at Golden for $40-something thousand. There are 1,000 of those, and there are 1,000 variations or 1,000 of each of them singly. Wilt has fewer than 500 total autographs. I think it's so much cooler than that duel. I don't even think it's close. So that's my take on that. You know, I'm super passionate about that one. I took forever on MC Sports Cards. I have to stop. This is the best auction they've ever done, though. It's amazing. Gosh, and I just clicked out of hoodies because I'm an idiot. Okay, let me do this. History. I think it's this thing that I just clicked on. Okay, we're back to hoodies. Good. Accidentally almost got out of there. So hoodies has some absolutely huge items up right now. This One Piece, I'm not going to talk about One Piece. I don't know it well enough. But then you get to the Caleb Williams Optic Retro card in 2024. Some Pokemon stuff. Another big Wemby. They sold a huge Wemby last week. Here's another big Wemby up this week. But my favorite card of the week for hoodies is this Jokic right here. Nikola Jokic is certainly one of the players of the era, and this is one of the cooler cards of his. It's really too bad that we didn't get Jokic in like 08 Topps, which is one of the best photography sets ever. And it'll be interesting to see what Topps can do over the next few years. I would personally love to see them do a set like 08, where they really go all in on some unique photography. I'm not saying that they haven't done that in the set. I haven't studied it well enough to know. but I do know I really like this card. It's a little bit too much white space, but he needed it for the autograph. He needed every bit of it. Frankly, he could have used more of it. We could have moved Jokic up a little bit maybe, but it's great. Jokic is not the most photogenic guy in the world, and I have to give Topps some credit here. 1 out of 10. It's a really neat piece. Makes you wonder if it's gradable. Obviously just came out. Out of all the stuff that I've seen out of Chrome so far, that's one of my favorite cards. It's really a neat piece. Okay. Anything else that we got to hit real quick? Some more big Chrome stuff. Oh, I love this Filipowski. You guys know I'm a Jazz fan. Filipowski was a rookie last year. Gosh, I should know that. I feel so stupid. I think he was a rookie. He was a rookie last year. $909 on this. It's interesting because from the first year of Topps, this is probably going to end up being his best card. And we live in a world now where if you have like a really unusual fandom for somebody who's not super crazy popular, like Kyle Filipowski, you're still going to have to pay a lot of money for their best cards. And that's one of his best cards in existence right there. Despite the fact that it's not his rookie card, like, what are you going to want a Filipowski from his second season more than that card? I don't think there's going to be a card. So that's a big one. Good to see it. Okay, now let's move on to the Premier, which is where we're going to spend quite a bit of time here on Premier. There's a few cards in particular that I need to make sure I talk about. If you follow me, you already know the story on this duel right here. I put together a reel that I was really proud of on this one. The reason that I'm proud of this one is sometimes when I source information about a set, I have to go back through some unusual like channels to find like, can I learn anything else about this one? When I looked at this card, I was really like, I've seen this card before, but I didn't know for sure whether those patches were legit. And I didn't know for sure whether those autographed inscriptions were legit. I was nervous about that. But the most amazing thing happened is I did this research. And maybe you all know this, but I didn't know this. I was able to find the original sell sheet from 2009 Exquisite Basketball. And that card was like the card of the whole product. The final year of Exquisite, the card that they chose to sort of highlight is like, look at this big card that you can pull. Was that one. And it wasn't a mock-up of it. It was the card with the autographs, with the inscriptions, with the patch. And so seeing it at auction now, thinking this was the big card you could have pulled from 2009 Exquisite, to me is so cool. And the fact that they've got this like dual birthday thing, the autographs are both great. LeBron's put his jersey number on it. Tiger's autograph is as good as it is. The patches are awesome. And the other two are not inscribed. At least one of the other two isn't. I suspect both of the other two aren't. It's so cool. It's also highly unusual. Most cards, you have something to comp them to. Good luck with this one. I don't think you're going to find anything. As far as big-time gold refractors go, you're just not going to find anything bigger than this one. The fact that it's number 6 is amazing. The fact that there's only 9 PSA 10s ever is amazing. And the question that I've been asked over and over again, and when I say over and over again, I mean probably like 15 times, is what would you rather have, Adam? Would you rather have a gold Chrome refractor or an Exquisite RPA? Just depends on the day that you ask me. What I do know is the 6 of 50 PSA 10, this card, other than maybe the 23 out of 50, depending on what the grade is, this is going to be one of the best LeBron Chrome cards ever. It should be. It's already at $840,000. The Nick Kurtz's best card in existence, already at 361, worth watching. A lot of people are really high on Kurtz, and the fact that it's, I think a lot of people believe, easily his best card ever. You just never know what happens on that. Covered this one. There's only 5 Shohei Bowman or Topps Chrome cards from 2018 that are in black label. And this one, was this one the best one? No. The Bowman Chrome, there's a Bowman Chrome orange to 25. It's the pitching. That like sold for like 500 and something thousand before the giant run of 2025. That's probably $1 million card at this point, or at least have a chance. This is the second best one of the 5. LeBron, the 9.5 here is the big story, but the question here is, how do collectors respond to the blank patch? I will tell you, and I've said this a million times, I love the blank patch. In fact, so I'll let you guys in on something kind of fun. I don't know, letting you in on anything is, I don't think that it's really letting anybody in on anything. Acquire had access to a PSA 5 LeBron RPA with a white patch. It's the 1 out of 99. Not number 1 of 99. That also, ironically, has a white patch, but a numbered out of 99 one. And you might have seen a few people show it off. The guy who sold it showed it off. I think it was RBI Crew who bought it. I thought I made a pretty significant play at it, but Jesse at Acquire was like, Adam, you're not close here. I thought, this is just me just like letting you in on information here. But this is my information to share. It's fine. I'm not sharing anything that I'm not supposed to hear. I really thought that because it was a blank patch, like white, because it was a PSA 5, even though the autograph was a 10, I thought this was a card that would be in the 200s. Jesse told me, he's like, Adam, it's got to be in the 3s. And that doesn't mean that he was going to take 300 for it. It meant you're not close in the 2s. And I was like, okay, I thought about it. I just couldn't get there, but it sold. And I'm pretty certain it sold in the 3s. There's a chance it might've been 4. I don't know if they got 4 for it, but I bet you it was well into the 3s. And that was a blank patch. Now this one though, it's a bigger patch, and it's one that we're used to seeing sort of some crazy patches on. And for collectors, like that some collectors really care. Now I wanted that PSA 5 with the white patch a lot. And the reason is I'm different than everybody. I get that. I love not having to worry about the legitimacy of the patch at all. I love that. And I love it being low grade too. That the one that I went after a little bit. This one, the 9.5 is doing the heavy lifting. But with that said, it's sitting only at 60. I think it goes up quite a bit from here. I could be wrong about that. It's not like it even has good subgrades, and the autograph looks great. And that patch is game used. And there's only 75 of them. But how much, I'm not sure. Okay, one of the stories of the week, though, is this Steph. So I want to show you this Steph real quick here. And now, something about this Steph Curry immediately stood out to me. And I'm guessing you're not gonna be able to figure out what it is. Is there anything about this Steph Curry that immediately stands out to you? Okay, let me tell you. What stood out to me immediately when I looked at this Steph Curry was the grade. We've seen a lot of 9.5s of this card. We've seen a lot of 9s of this card. I couldn't remember a single one of these cards in this low of grade selling at auction. But this is one of these Steph Curry cards that people want to have, right? It's really this and the Chrome Gold Refractor. Those are the two big rookie cards. Those are the two cards that everybody thinks of when they think of significant Steph Curry cards. So check this out. Go to Card Ladder. Go to Card Ladder and type in Stephen Curry National Treasures 2009 99. And when we do that, you're going to see there's a ton of results, 69 results. And if we sort not by price, but instead by date sold, here's what we find. 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 8.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9, 9, 9. Now we have an SGC 8, okay, not BGS, an SGC 8. We have this one that people, I think, believe is a fake patch, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, and finally, we get to an 8. Golden sold an 8 of this card. Number 51 of 99. Golden sold this in 2022. 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5. All of the rest of these guys are 9.5s, 9s. I don't think there's another 8. I think that we've only ever had one other. Yeah, look at this. This one's an altered patch, BGS 9, PSA 8. So PSA 8's a little bit different. 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9, 9. Like all of the rest of these are higher grade. And so we've seen a ton of these cards sell over the years. Let me get back to it. Where'd it go? Where am I? We've seen a ton of these sell up for over the years. But if you're somebody who doesn't care about condition, if you're somebody who doesn't want to pay for condition, I genuinely don't know that there's a better copy of this card in existence for you. The Beckett 8, on this is definitely something that, well, the Beckett 8 here is something that may save you a lot of money. And so if you need the card, but you don't care as much about the grade, this might be the very best one for you. Because again, there's only one copy ever that has sold at this grade or lower, and that is it. So to me, that's a big deal. I think if you go back and you look at how often this card is sold, I think it sold something like 8 times last year, 5 times the year before that. It's a card that has definitely moved, but to see an 8 move is actually kind of a big story, because you might, if this is a card that you've been looking for, there's a chance that you might be getting a deal on it because it's as low a grade as it is. So that's something I think is definitely worth thinking about. At least that's how I think about these things. Okay, back to Premier. Let's look at a few more auctions. I made the case for the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander maybe being his best card in existence on one of my reels, and I stand by that. At $238,000 now, is it his biggest? Or sorry, $228,000. Is it his biggest card ever? I think it's his second biggest card ever at this point. Just type in Shai, sort by highest price. It's is that the same amount? 228. Isn't that the exact same amount? 38. It's the same amount. It's currently tied to the penny for the highest dollar Shai Gilgeous-Alexander card ever. If they're both to pop up at the same time, I think the Logoman RPA sells for more. I do. I think it does because people love the Logoman RPA, and it's the NT Logoman RPA, so it's got really everything going for it. I also think the fact that this card is him in a Clipper uniform, and this card is him in an OKC uniform, is worthy of note. There may be collectors who are like, I want to own the best Shai card I can have, but I hated the fact that his best cards are him with the Clippers. And some collectors are going to say to you, that doesn't matter. What matters is where the card fits in the course of his whole career. And I think that's a fair case. I mean, I think the fact that he has Logoman RPAs and they're from they're from when he was a Clipper, that's just, it is what it is. But like this guy is going to go on to be a however many time MVP, champion, perhaps all with OKC. It makes it feel weird. Like, I don't blame somebody if they say, I really want this and I like it more than the NT Logoman RPA. I don't fault them at that. And so you might be saying, but Adam, like, why the Kaboom? Like, why are you even talking about this? Because I'm not a Kaboom guy. I've never owned a Kaboom card. I don't know if I ever will own a Kaboom card. They're cool looking, but I don't really like, I'm not like crazy for them. I love the story here though. The fact that this is the year that he won the MVP. This is the year that he won the championship. This is the only year that, for some reason, this is the only year that Panini made a Kaboom card for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's a PSA 10, and it's, the one that's the green out of one. Like, it absolutely has a case for being the best SGA card when he's with the Thunder. And then the only other bridge that you have to be able to jump to say, is it his best card overall, is like, do you care that all of his rookie cards are him with the Clipper uniform? If somebody says I'd rather have this than any other Shai rookie card, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't. What would I do? I'd take the Logoman RPA. I would. But I think this one does have a case. I do think that. All right. Big Brady. We've seen this a couple of times. 9.5 on that. One of his best autograph patches in existence. The MJ LeBron duel is obviously a huge deal. Wemby's second year Kaboom's a big deal. We've seen those big Prism Black cards sell for Shai and for Luka. Now we get to see LeBron for 2022, and that one's a 10. Always love seeing a Jambalaya. Really good subgrades on this one, sitting at $84,000 right now. The Luka Logoman. Boy, this is an interesting one, guys. BGS 9, he just does not have very many Logoman. This one's from his rookie year. It's a big deal card. I think most people would say this is the best Deion Sanders card in existence. This is his Gem Masters PSA 7, that'll be one to watch on the night of the auction. One of my personal favorite cards in my collection. I own one of the other 49 of this one. This is the Kobe, the Point Limited Logos card. It is the best looking Kobe Exquisite card, bar none. I love this card. Some people are going to say, Adam, it's not the best looking Exquisite Kobe card. Okay, maybe you don't think it is. I do. I think it is. I've always thought that this is the best looking autograph patch set ever made. I think it's the best autograph patch set ever made. The fact that they made 50 of them for each player is crazy, insane. And Kobe has two versions, this one to 50 and then a regular looking 150. But this one where Kobe is smiling at you and pointing his finger. Here, I'll make it big so you can see what I'm talking about. I just think that that's about as good an image as you're going to find on a card like this. Come on, move faster, move faster. You can tell me I'm crazy. I love that image. And then there's a lot of them that have crazy patches. This is one of the crazier ones, though. This one's really nice. And then a BGS 9, it's a big grade. So it's a nice grade, a high quality patch. The autograph looks great. Got a little bit of streak in there. Just a little bit. Not enough to change that autograph grade, though. Autograph looks the way you want it to. It's fantastic. Oh, dear. Did I get out? I didn't mean to get out. How did I get out of Fanatics? What was I thinking? We'll come back here to Premiere real quick. And why won't it? We're going to go through the weekly here in a little bit, too. Hopefully I don't forget that, but I might. You never know. I love this LeBron right here. I love this Shea right here. The 1/1 black auto. That autograph's on card. A Brady gold prism. You don't see those at auction very often. And then one of the more interesting comparisons in this auction is both Kobe and MJ's Intimidation Nation PSA 10s are up, and they have the same population. It's one of those rare instances where we basically get to compare Kobe and MJ, and all of their variables are identical. All the other variables are isolated. It's the same set and the same grade with the same population. So we'll see what the multiplier is. Jordan will be more. Is he 2 times more? Is he 6 times more? We don't know. We'll find out. This Shea right here, though, is a big deal. So we keep seeing scratched variations of this. And I'm wondering if as somebody's redeeming it, like somebody from Topps is reaching out and saying, hey, could we sell this at Fanatics Collects auction? We'll give you like a reduced rate or something, because people keep scratching these off. This is like the third one of these that we've seen, where then that goes to auction. I'm guessing that's what's going on, because people usually think real hard before they scratch something off. But maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. There's 4 of these, and the story here is that, in fact, let's see if it says this. Let's see if it sort of explains it here. So the story, though, as this pulls up, is that the Logoman card here will be a gold Logoman, and it's because Shea won the MVP. He won the MVP last year, and so this year his Logoman on the back of his jersey is gold. I don't know how Topps got the NBA to do this, but it's so cool that they did. You might say maybe it was the NBA who did it. I guarantee you Topps had a role to play in this, 100%. And it's awesome. It's so cool. You can see, on the card, the MVP, the Rookie of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year, all 3 of them get the gold tag. I thought there was one more award, like Most Improved or something. That wouldn't be bad. But for Shea, like, look, last year was his big year. We've already talked about that twice on this episode. There is a better version of this, I think. I think there's an autograph version that's to 1/1. And, you might say, well, what does the autograph like have the chance to do? Like, as far as like how big of a card could that possibly be? Well, if you look at Shohei's biggest card ever, it's the same card. It's this one. It's $3 million for this card. This is the gold Logoman from the year after the MVP, 1/1 with the autograph. Shea is not as popular as Shohei, so his will not be $3 million. I don't think. But it is an absolutely huge piece. This is not the autograph. This is one of the 4 Logoman patches. And I actually had a contact reach out to me and told me he pulled one of the other 3 of these. So he's super excited to see what this one sells for. I'm super excited to see for him what this one sells for. And you have to wonder if this one, whatever this one sells for, how that one, if he sells it, will compare. But I don't know if he's going to sell it. I think he might keep it. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's very cool. I don't think he scratched his off, though. I think he just thought about it first. We will see. Okay, so now I'm going to go back because I clicked the wrong button. And we're going to look through a bunch more of these. Gosh, I'm taking too long, though. I gotta move faster. So we talked about the Shea. I love this LeBron, reminiscent of the finalist cards from Exquisite. Big gold kaboom there. Another big Logoman auto or limited logos of Kobe. Remember there's the 2450 of this is inscribed and has a crazy patch on it and sold to acquire for over $2 million. Both the out of 31 and the out of 30 parallels of the Steph. Be very interesting to compare these two when they're done. I believe the 1 out of 30 is worth quite a bit more, but right now it's almost twice as much. And that's really incredible. Okay, one of the more interesting cards of the whole auction, though, is this Michael Jordan. We're going to talk about that one in a second. I want to talk about, gosh, there's so much to look at here, guys. I mean, there's so much. And I get messages every week like, hey, will you make sure you talk about this? I wish I could talk about everything that everybody has messaged me about. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Stephon Castle, there's the Rookie of the Year gold. Oh, a Kobe logo. It's a tag. It's just a tag, but it is a Kobe Logoman tag. The LeBron championship tag is a big deal. I love this Brady, the Patriots head facing upward. Take a look at that one if you're a Brady fan. That's so cool. I love this Kobe right here, BGS 95, his rarest gold refractor out of chrome. I love this Giannis Logoman sitting lower. Giannis stuff can be kind of cheap right now. This is a Pop 2 right here on the game day. What is that called? Warp Tech. One of the coolest Kobe inserts ever. I've always wanted one of these. Now they're so expensive, I probably will never get one. I made a story about this one, but I think it's absolutely one that's worth sharing. Gem Masters of Kurt Schilling. That will be a big deal card to sell. We've seen several of these one-of-one exquisites sell big. It's interesting to see a couple more of them up right now. One of the best Yao Ming cards in existence. There's another one of those one-of-ones. The Jambalaya of Kobe in a BGS 9 is always a big deal. This card, the 21 of 21, was one of the biggest Garnett sales ever. We'll see if we can hit that real quick. I am so short on time, but I'm trying to get through a bunch of these because this auction is crazy incredible. I'm going to fly through all the pages here, though. I just want to see if there's like what cards I absolutely just have to talk about. I love this Jordan autograph. Not one of his rarest, but one of his coolest autographs. Another one of these redemptions. This is the Tariq Skubai. Same sort of thing. 4 gold Logoman that they put in that product. Big Tiger. Big Kobe. Interesting seeing this one. PSA DNA pop of 8. I'll talk about that one for a second. I actually love this Kobe, though. This is one of my favorite cards at the auction. It's only $1,700 right now, but it is a big deal. I did a reel on this one. It's kind of crazy that they did all these on card. Well done to Topps to do that. This Pele right here. This one's a 2.5 with a 10 auto. That's a cool piece. Here's that Kobe that I was talking about. It'll be interesting to see what the ratio is. One of the rarest Jordan cards from this era, wearing the number 23 jersey. It's not a refractor or anything like that, but most of these are numbered out of 4 or have the number 45. The story about that one, I did a reel on that one. Go back and find it if you want to learn more about it. I know it's hard to find some of my old reels, but just like honestly, just go through and just go scroll through. You'll be able to find it. Another one of the more interesting cards in the auction, this dual Logoman. I know I've already talked about it, but I want to hit that real quick. One of the biggest Scottie Pippen inserts in existence. PSA 8 on that is no small deal. That is a big deal. Pop 1 of 2. 3 graded higher actually surprises me. That's a bigger number than I would suspect. But still a big deal. Scottie Pippen. Triple jersey of the big 3. Wow. A Steph Curry regular Topps rookie is now in the Premier auction. How times have changed, guys. How times have changed. Page 6. The Sincerely Babe Ruth. I did a big story on that one. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Oh my goodness, this auction is just flipping bonkers. Bonkers. Wait, did I get lost? There's that legacy right there. Okay. This is the white refractor Kobe Pop 1 of 6. Big card. Boy, sitting low right now, 775. All this stuff that's here at the end. You're going to see some stuff here at the end. Some of the best cards get pushed into the auction late, and you're going to see some of them right now. The Kristaps Porzingis Black. Now, we don't see a lot of Porzingises in the Premier, but this is his black prism. That is a big deal card. The green Kobe here, numbered to 10. Remember, first year select, they did the greens to 10. Numbered that's a pop 2 right there. And we keep going. You need to see the color on this. I would have liked to see Fanatics put a white background on that card. I guarantee you they're getting messages from people saying, hey, I need to see the background here. Either that or there's a publicly available image that already shows that it's yellowed. Oh, hey now. There's something I didn't expect seeing. The very first Hermione Granger, Emma Watson autograph in a very strong grade. We'll talk about that one. I am uniquely qualified to talk about that one. Wait a second. How did we get... I was like, some of these cards aren't as awesome. Somehow we got onto the regular auction. How did that happen? I must have clicked on something I didn't mean to. Let's go back to Premiere. I think we're on like page 5 or 6. Let's try 6. Yeah, we already hit the Babe Ruth. We'll talk about that one. How are we doing on time? Gosh, this is going to be one of my longest episodes. This Bart Simpson's amazing. I don't talk about any of the unopened wax. Definitely got to look at that stuff yourself, guys. Some unopened wax is amazing. This Brady I covered already, but you guys want to hear more about it, I'll bet. Okay, and okay. 2 of the craziest cards of the auction, both put in right at the end. This Joel Embiid, though. If I wasn't an honest person, I just would not talk about this and then hope that I got to win it for this price. This card coming in late is crazy to me. It's nuts to me. Okay, we got like 15 cards here. How many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 12 cards. And then we will hit alt and golden and card hobby in not very much time. Okay, so Michael Jordan has a lot of autographs. Not like a ton, but he has a lot of different autographs that some of which you might not have seen before. But I have done this for a long time, and it is very rare to see a Michael Jordan autograph pop up that I have not seen before. This is that card. I had never seen a copy of this. I even messaged a few people. So I actually had whoever the owner was on this, or maybe just some of his friends. I had several people contact me on this and try to feel out for like what the value would be. And I expressed interest, and then they didn't get back to me. So that was not great, but that's okay. That happens. Sometimes people just want to know. And I also let them know, like, hey, this is a card that I absolutely would send to auction. I thought it was a little weird. I get people a lot of the time who are like trying to feel things out, like, oh, what this might be worth. And they sort of want my information for free, which is fine. That's what people are going to do. With that said, this card knocked my socks off because I just didn't know that it existed. It is not part of a set that is beloved. And so that hurts it. It's not like it's part of an exquisite autograph patch set that everybody knows. It's not part of like some retro set that everybody knows. People hadn't seen this card before and they didn't know that it existed. And part of that is because it came out of the Master Collection. Master Collection was made in 2000. There was like a pack in each of the boxes that had like one card in it that you didn't know. The rest of the cards you knew. Like you knew what the base cards were. You knew what all the other cards were in the box that you were going to get. But this was one of the best Michael Jordan cards that you could get out of the whole product. And you can highlight it and talk about like how it has an awesome game used jersey and it has a piece of the final floor, which is really cool. But the story here to me is straight up the fact that it's as unusual of a design as it is, where the M's out of the jersey and the J's out of the floor, but that it's out of 10 out of the Master Collection. And it's, of course, that it's autographed by Michael Jordan. The boxes that it checks are, number one, that it's his autograph, number two, that it's as rare as it is, but number three, and this is the most important, is that it's virtually unseen. Again, I didn't know this existed. I'd never seen this before. And that doesn't happen with cards like this very often. And I'm not trying to say, oh, look at me. I'm trying to say, this is really a rare thing. So with that said, what are the downsides? There's one major downside. That autograph's not supposed to be as dark as it is. The autograph is faded. This should be blue. I'm 99% sure. It looks to me like a blue faded autograph. All the other autographs out of this product are blue, except for the ones that have faded to dark. I think somebody probably displayed this card a little bit too long. Having said that, I still think it presents well. It's exceptionally rare to see a faded MJ autograph sell for what this one's going to sell for. But the nature of it being as rare as it is what gives me sort of this like, ooh, this is interesting. That's why I was interested in it. It's really rare. And whenever you can get a Michael Jordan autograph from this era that people didn't know existed, to me, you have to look past the autograph quality a little bit. That's to me. I messaged a friend who I assumed would be interested in it. His response was, I need that card, but I can't deal with the autograph. So he's not going to go for it based on the autograph. My response to him was, sometimes it's better to have a copy that's not perfect than to never be able to get the copy that is perfect. Because if it was blue, a big giant number could be on the table here, guys. It's one of the coolest Jordan autographs I've seen with a very imperfect autograph. There's your story. Okay. This card jumped out at me, and I think that might surprise you guys because this isn't the sort of card that I really go after usually. This card jumped out at me because of the price, actually. The price when I came past it the first time was $29,000, and I was like, what is that card doing at $29,000? And then I looked at the grade and I went, ooh, have I ever seen that card graded in a 10 for auction? This is the row 1, and there's 3 Kobe Bryant serial numbered legacy rookie cards. They're all numbered to 150. And then there's the credentials that's numbered to 499. That is it as far as serial numbered Kobe Bryant rookie cards go. So then the question comes, okay, so if there's fewer than 1,000 Kobe Bryant serial numbered rookie cards, how many of those 950-ish are PSA 10s? There are 25 total across all 4 cards. So if these are your filters, I want a Kobe rookie that's serial numbered and I want it in PSA 10, you're going to see like 2 or 3 of those a year move total across all of them. Maybe less. This one is a big deal because of that. And it sort of makes you wonder what it'll sell for, because we had this era right around 2020 where Kobe rookies just went absolutely bananas, ballistic, insane, crazy. And then they came crashing down to earth. And since then, they've been progressing again, but we're still not seeing a lot of these cards sell. So seeing this one move is sort of a big deal. And I've had people ask me, what do you think this is going to sell for? And I don't have any clue. The fact that it was at 29 was what surprised me. I was like, ooh, this is high already. But then when I dove in, I was like, oh, I don't know what this is going to do. I don't know. I have no idea. So it'll be fun to see. All right. This one I want to pull up because if you go to Card Ladder, in fact, let's do it. If you go to Card Ladder and just type in Kevin Garnett and then sort by highest. Yeah, so it's the highest standalone Kevin Garnett card ever, which is what I thought it was. This is the 21 of 21 copy, and that is 1,000% why it sold for $132,000. It's the fact that it's serial numbered the way that it is. So this is not 21 of 21. This is number something else of 21. I can't really see it super well, and I'm not going to take the time for it, but it's a big deal card. I love this Jordan autograph. I love the fact that it extends the entire length of this. Now, if you don't know this card, what you probably do not know, and you probably cannot see just by looking at it, this is not a great big white space. This is a great big holographic area. This is a holographic area that Michael Jordan has signed on. It looks like there's a little bit of a pattern that comes through here. I didn't know about that till I zoomed in real far. Come out here, you don't see that as well. So he's signing on holofoil. This is one where you 100% want to look at the 360 view. In fact, let's just do it. Sure, play. Look at that. There we go. So just to prove I'm not blowing smoke, I don't know about that line right there. It's interesting. I didn't know that was there. I guess it's part of the design though. Anyway, autograph on holofoil is so cool, and for that reason, I love it. They don't have a lot of autographs out on holofoil. I'm a total homer for this card because I own the rarer version. So yes, I am 100% influenced by watching this by my own collection. Mine's not a PSA 1010. Mine's a BGS 1010, and mine's the silver that's out of 25, which is an infinitely better looking card. With that said, I love this card. And I've always loved this card. I own several variations of the regular version of this card because, and I think it has an amazing story because in 2012, they made this 100 card autograph set and two guys in the whole set signed on card. The rest signed on sticker. And the two guys that signed on card, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, two poster boys for the company at that point. The fact that this one is graded a 1010 is the story. There's only 8 of those. There's only 8 10s with autograph grade, I believe. PSA DNA. Note to you guys, when you see PSA DNA population, that means you can't just look at the regular PSA population. You have to look at the PSA DNA. And so if you wanted to know how many Kobe 2012 Prism autographs are there that are graded PSA 10, it's more than 8 because this is just the PSA DNAs. The PSA, there's going to be more 10s. Now, none of them have autograph grades, though. The fact that it has an autograph grade means that it's PSA DNA. Does that make sense? So there's only 8 of these. But what you don't know, and this is because of a design flaw by PSA, and it is a big design flaw, you cannot separate this by autograph grade. There might be 7 PSA 10 with 9 autos and 1 PSA 10 with 10 auto. But that is not knowable given the resources they provide you. It is not knowable. I don't know. I have no idea. You go look at Card Ladder, you go look online and see what else you find. But some number of these 8s are graded 10. It might be all 10. All 8 of these are graded PSA 10. We don't know what the autograph grades on any of those 8 are, except for this one right here. So that's really cool to see. I'm almost out of time. This is bad. I love this card. It's numbered out of 2. It is from his playing days. This will sell for a lot of money. It's sitting at $1,700. It won't stay there. I promise. Is from the very first dual Logoman baseball set ever. And these two guys actually have a connection. Nomo and Matsui, 2 of the best 7 or 8 Japanese players of all time. They both played actively at this time. They could have put Nomo in another jersey because he played somewhere else just before this. Fortunately, they got him in a Dodgers uniform and Matsui in a Yankees uniform. It's exactly how you want that to look. The fact that this card has never popped up and it's up right now is really interesting. I've had people ask me, what do you think this one's going to sell for? I don't have a clue. It wouldn't surprise me if it didn't get another bid. It also wouldn't surprise me if it sold for a ton. That's how one of ones like this are. You have to ask yourself, are there a couple of guys that want to own like this dual, like a couple of guys that collect, say, Japanese players, or the fact that we've never seen a licensed Nomo Logoman sell ever? Like ever? He has so many cards that have sold for like his PMG is sold for over $50,000. There's 50 of those. This is his first Logoman ever to sell. You just don't know, but it's absolutely the sort of card that if we get to Thursday night and you see it start to like go crazy, it's not going to be shocking if there's 2 or 3 guys that are like, I need this card. Because again, if this is the sort of thing that you collect, Nomo or Japanese players, you get one shot. And again, this is the first time publicly in Card Ladder's database that we've ever seen this one sell. Maybe the first time it's ever sold, period. This was not part of the premiere, but this is her first autograph. She signed it when she's like 13, and she was developing her autograph as she was going through it. I did not mean to click on, I don't know how I got to the regular auctions, but after I saw it, I had to hit it. And that is a big card. Matt Greening is how you pronounce it. Bart thinks about the future. Uh-oh. This is like one of the cooler variations of this. Look at the back. You'll see that it's numbered at 400. From my sense of things, he didn't sign these starting in the ones. It seems like some of the later numbers are some of the more unique pieces. This is one of the coolest non-sports cards literally ever made. There's only 400 of them. PSA and other authenticators have kind of gone back and forth on whether they will grade them or not. And you can sort of understand why when you look at it. There's not a lot going on. I wonder if they felt uncomfortable authenticating something at some point. But, they do grade them now, and the pop report's really small, and it's one of the best non-sports cards ever. This is the best card that came out of the product this year and one of the rarest Tom Brady parallels in existence. And it's moved 5 times in the last couple of years, 5 times in the last 7 years. And 4 of the 5 were the same copy. And the other one was graded a 9, but it wasn't this copy. This is one that I know people are watching. But this Joel Embiid, guys, this is the best Joel Embiid card in existence. Legit. This is the best Joel Embiid card in existence. It's either this or the Prism Black. Those are your 2 options. That's it. So if you go, you got to check Card Ladder on this. You got to. Because much like the Anthony Davis, the question is like, okay, so this guy's days of prospecting are definitely over. He could retire at the end of the season, right? Which is sad to say because he's been such a big part of the NBA. Certainly I think he's certainly a Hall of Famer, but his peak was short. I think everybody will remember Joel Embiid though. Where's my Card Ladder at? There we go. So I just want to see what the highest selling Joel Embiid ever is. Might be better on this one. So it's just better than all these cards. Maybe not this triple, but like it's better than the Gold Prism. I think it's a way better card. It's about when these sold, right? 21, 21, 21, 21, 22, 22, 22, 22, 23, 22, 22, 22, 21. Did we ever see the logo men sell? Didn't Bill Lee own this? I think Bill Lee owned this card. Bill? Why do I? Back to reality. I could go look that up. I knew this guy years ago named Bill Lee, I think. I should remember his name. Who was like, he got into cards for a short time in like 2014, 2015, 2016, and he bought like some of the biggest cards out there. And I'm virtually certain that he bought this one. But I didn't think he sold anything. Maybe he finally decided to sell some of the stuff. Embiid should have been one of the greatest players ever, guys. He just couldn't stay healthy. He was amazing. I love that card. I will be watching that card for sure. And then the Tom Brady. Jeremy said to me something like, I'm not sure you could make a better card than that. And I knew Jeremy really liked it when he said that. I know where Jeremy's coming from. This card has literally like everything going for it. And you might be like, Adam, why are you focusing on this one? We've seen this card before. It's just that conversation really like stopped me in my tracks. Topps is like the most basic product ever. The fact that this card came out of a couple dollar per pack product, signed by 22 or 23-year-old Tom Brady, or 24, however old he was at the time, who had just won a Super Bowl after having, not that long before that, a year before that, after having been drafted like so late in the draft. And then they took the ball, one of the balls from the Super Bowl, cut it up, put it in the card, made a little star out of it, numbered it to 150, and that this card has basically stayed untouched. Look at that autograph for the last 24 years. Like, what more could you ever want out of a card? It was fully accessible to everyone. Anyone could have bought this card. It was signed before he was the GOAT, on his way to becoming the GOAT. It includes part of the Super Bowl ball. It has everything going for it, and it's been preserved super well. It's awesome to see it. Oh, you know what? I know there was other stuff that I was going to look at. That we were going to look at. I think I missed some stuff. We were going to look at the Ruth ticket. I talked about the Ruth ticket a lot. Go follow that. Go look at that reel if you haven't already watched it. I said ticket. I meant business card. That business card's got one of the craziest stories ever. It has nothing to do even with the Ruth autograph. And then when you get to alt, I don't even know how many people have messaged me about this stuff. I think I've told everybody this. I could be wrong about this, but I believe that this is the Steph that alt had I think Alt and Beckett had like some legal issues around this one. And that's why it's in an authentic holder. Like, I can't remember the story. It's public. It's a public story. You can go find it out. But I tell you what's really interesting is that it's labeled. I mean, you can see it right here as labeled as authentic altered. I think the story is that Beckett it was graded a 9.5. Alt cracked it out of a 9.5 holder and sent it to PSA. PSA said, we can't grade this. It's too short. Or they said, we can't grade it. It's altered. They sent it back to Beckett, and Beckett said, we're not going to regrade this. And they're like, wait, what do you mean? It was in a 9.5 holder. You got to put it back in a 9.5 holder. And I think that was basically the crux of the legal. I could be wrong about this, by the way. This might be the wrong copy. But the fact that it's in an authentic holder is what leads me to believe this. And I heard somebody else talk about this, but I could be wrong. So definitely go do your own research. Go look up the lawsuit. I really like this card. Of course, I really like this card. If you've been watching this, you know that I really like this card. I've always wanted one of these, and this could be a good one. They have it labeled as authentic altered, but very interestingly, PSA does not. PSA put it back in the case, authenticated it, and just called it authentic. And that's a different thing than calling it altered. Putting it in an authentic holder, you can look online too. PSA does not have it listed as altered. They just have it listed as authentic. So are people watching this to see what Steph's biggest Chrome card ever sells for? Yeah, especially because it's a low enough grade, being authentic altered, that some people might be able to actually afford it. With that said, it's already at almost 120 grand. So there's more stuff here. I'd love to take the time. We're out of time though. Golden's big auction this week. I just want to point out this Kobe. I actually love this Kobe autograph. I think as far as like cool autographs of his from his Upper Deck days, there's very few that beat this one. I don't think it'll sell for anything crazy, but I think it's a really cool card. And then Card Hobby, we're already in auctions. I want to click price, sort by the highest priced auctions of the week, and see what big stuff. Wow, a Derek. This is really crazy cool. Derrick Rose autograph, inscribed. What is the inscription? We'll look at that one here in a second. Let's keep scrolling through and see what else we can find. Dynasty soccer cards, Sir Alex Ferguson. That's cool. A couple other big ones. Mbappe on Noir there. Big Kobe autograph, big Messi autograph, another big Mbappe. Jordan, same Ultimate autograph that we were talking about earlier. Very cool looking piece. A flawless Steph autograph patch. Ooh, what's this? Knipple. 1 of 1. Knipple Chrome. Let's go. Con Knipple is legit, man. That dude is flipping awesome. What is this? Steph Curry Mosaic 1 of 1? That's a neat card to see at auction. Is this what is this? Immaculate autograph of Steph's? Neat. VJ Edgecombe. This one's going to be numbered to 5. Yeah, that's a big deal card. I love the look of that card, too. We're going to look at that one closer. How am I doing on time? Yeah, I am in trouble. I got to go fast. I got to go so fast. This is neat. Dirk, Luka, dual champ tags. That is really, really cool. Derrick Rose. From the 2008 season, that is his rookie year. Wow, that's a neat limited logos. Those ones are rare too. That's a lot of people think that's the best year of limited logos. I always say 04 is the nicest looking aesthetically, but 04, when you combine the rarity with it, I can see how you would take that as the best year of limited logos. I mean, you could take any year is the best if it's the rarest. I used to have one of these T-Max. Wish I still owned it. Sold it to Mr. B's Collectibles for like $200 like 15 years ago. That was a huge mistake. Anything else going to jump out at us here as being really different? This Zion is super interesting with a silver autograph. The Cade Cunningham next day. Well, he's gotten so much better. Used to think of this not so much as a huge card, but now I do. D Rose and Morant, man. Those guys might have more in common than we wished that they did. Two guys whose peaks were incredible, and Morant just looks like he's on his way to nothing, which is sad. I hope that I end up being wrong about that. Adidas tag of Carmelo. Oh, this is really interesting. This is one of those 2013 insignias. We're going to look at that one. I really do have to go quick, though. How many? We have 4 items to look at. Let's look at each of them. Oh, look at that Donovan Mitchell down there, too. Okay, so 4 items at Card Hobby. Derrick Rose, what is the inscription here? Love? Does that say love? I think that says love. Am I crazy? What does this say? LOVE? Check out the specialty patch. Now, the question is that game worn? That is the only question that people care about. I think it has to be enclosed game worn. It's weird. Calling it a specialty patch makes it feel like it might not be legit, like it might be manufactured. That is not. That is a game used jersey. And that is awesome. So awesome. That autograph. Well, imagine what he thought as he signed this card. Dang, that's cool. Con, Mr. might be rookie of the year. Mr. Nobody thought, like, why would you take an average size white guy who's not that athletic? Dude's balling, man. Dude is balling. He's awesome, too. He's smarter than he is good at basketball, too. And that is the Let's Go insert 1 of 1. Where does it say 1 of 1? It says Superfractor. That's nice. I can see it's a Superfractor. I want to see 1 of 1. It's probably right in front of me. There it is, right underneath the logo. And then the VJ Edge come. I just love this image here. It's a great image of VJ, number 2 of 5. And then last, but certainly not least, really an interesting Carmelo. Now it's out of 6. The early insignias are tough, though. I wish it wasn't out of 6, but that's a really cool piece for Carmelo. For Carmelo, here he is with the Knicks. Like, this is one of his most interesting eras, the early Panini era. And you guys know that stuff is tough. So let's find our 5 favorite cards of the week with the couple of minutes that we have. And when I say a couple of minutes, guys, I can't go past 2 hours because StreamYard doesn't upload if it's over 2 hours. So I love this Tiger Woods. We're going to get out of Gem Rate. We're going to get out of this. I love this LeBron 1 of 25. This Kobe's really cool, but I'm not going to put it in my top 5 cards. I love the Anthony Davis. I do like this Kobe a lot. MC crushed it this week with really cool stuff that I really like. We got card ladder. We're going to get out of that part. This Jordan has to go on the top 5, even though I didn't end up with a chance to buy it. I love this Kobe. I'm going to give that one a shot too. The Simpsons. The Brady I love, but it's not going on my top 25. The Embiid has a chance, is maybe his best card in existence. So does this Brady. I'm going to get out of Golden. Going to get out of Card Hobby. I love that, but it's not going to make my top 25. Same. So how many cards do we have? One Tiger, 1 LeBron, 1 AD, 1 Kobe, 1 Jordan, Kobe, Bart, Embiid. Whew, this is tough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. I got to cut 4 cards. I like the Brady, but we've seen it a lot. I'm going to take it off. Embiid's got a good shot. I like the Bart, man. I like it. I'm gonna try to get the Bart in there. 25 total Kobe Bryant PSA 10 serial numbered rookie cards. Tempted to get rid of it, but I don't want to. I can't get rid of this Jordan. I'm getting rid of this one. I like it a lot. It's cool to see it. I think it might have a big night, but it's not one of my 5 favorites of the week. It's at less than 1% of what it sold for. I thought this would be my favorite card of the week, and now I'm sitting here looking at maybe I can't even keep it on the list. And I love the Tiger, but the Tiger's not going to make it. Does that leave me with 6 or 7? So 6 cards. My 6th favorite of these 6 is the LeBron. My 5th favorite is the Bart. my fourth favorite is the Kobe. Whoop. 3. These last 3 are just fantastic. Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Michael Jordan. So Anthony Davis is definitely third. Embiid second, and the MJ's 1. Even with the super faded autograph, I can't not put that number 1. I didn't know it existed. From that product, I didn't know it existed. It's so cool to see it up. Guys, an hour 55. So much for me needing to go in an hour. My kids are waiting for me. I got to go. I'm going to get this up as fast as I can. Hope you guys have a great week. Good luck bidding. Leave all the comments down below. Say everything. Ask everything. Whatever you think, put it out there. But I'm grateful for you guys downloading the show. Thank you for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for all of the stuff. I never intended on my YouTube to have 2,500 something followers. Just for me just talking about cards randomly once a week. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys. And until next time, happy collecting.